Back, Magic has performed his act again, and he's led the Lakers back into the finals. Will trip number 9 for Johnson bring title number 6?
For Michael, after 7 sensational seasons, at last he's made it to the finals, and now there's no bullying his Bulls.
It's Magic versus Michael. It's the Bulls against the Lakers. It's the NBA Finals, and it's showtime.
Welcome to NBA Showtime. Live from Chicago Stadium, here's Bob Costas and Pat Riley.
And Chicago Stadium is filling with its 189th consecutive sellout. Officially 18,676 screaming Bulls fans here, but they might have shoehorned in a few extra. This is a franchise that's celebrating its 25th anniversary with the team's and Michael Jordan's first trip to the NBA Finals. Today's game between the Lakers and Bulls will be seen around the world in more than 77 countries, and we'll see it from this perch high in the stands of Chicago Stadium. Bob Costas, along with Pat Riley. As you know, earlier this week, Pat was finally coronated as the new head coach of the Knicks. We'll talk about that situation and his plans for the team somewhere along the line during these segments in the finals. But right now, our focus is on the Bulls and the Lakers. You've certainly been here. From a coach's perspective, your thoughts?
Well, Bob, you cannot feel good enough just by being here. I mean, it's not the feeling. It's about all the work, all the planning, all the preparation throughout the regular season. And it comes down to one thing. It comes down to winning or misery. I can recall Byron Scott talking to me after we won back-to-back titles back in 1988, and he said to me, Pat, after 24 of the possible 26 games, he said, I've never felt more spent physically, mentally, or spiritually. And I said, you know something, Byron? That's what it's all about. That's what it takes to win a world championship, and the team that gives that little extra is the team that's going to feel like a winner and not feel miserable.
Well, there are dozens of themes and subplots, and I imagine somewhere along the way we'll get to them all. But first and foremost, the NBA is a league of stars, and none shine brighter than Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. And while much has been said about their respective teams, nothing has been more anticipated than their individual matchup. It's a dream that's taken 7 years to fulfill, with each player traveling his own celebrated route. And a new coach.
I didn't think we really totally got it all together until the end of the season. We played our best basketball in the playoffs. I guess what I'm seeing now is that actual grind to come into a new situation, start at the bottom, and gradually get yourself closer to that ultimate goal of winning the world championship. And I think that if I do win it, gratifying to me to see that I've been through those steps and I know exactly what
was the one waiting for Magic. Before the playoffs started,
this is a dream come true to play Michael in the finals. It's something that I think we've both been looking forward to. And, you know, when you're a competitor, you want to play against the best. I played against Larry, and I've always wanted to play against Michael.
You know, few athletes in the history of sports have had a career of such completeness and symmetry as Magic Johnson. Think about it. Not only has he been part of 5 Laker World Championships, plus an NCAA title at Michigan State, but each step along the way, in a sense, he had to get by a personal crucible. It was Larry Bird for the NCAA championship. And in the NBA, he has beaten and lost to Dr. J in the finals. He has beaten and lost to Larry Bird in the finals. He has beaten and lost to his good friend Isaiah Thomas. Michael Jordan. When you think about it, Pat, Magic is like a gunslinger. He says, look, I'll walk down Main Street at high noon against anybody who wants to strap on the holster, and now it's Michael Jordan.
Well, he's going to see a lot of them, Bob. Even though Magic will not match up with Michael, Michael will play Magic. Michael Jordan will handle the ball out in the fourth quarter. As a matter of fact, in one game against the Detroit Pistons, Michael Jordan handled the ball 20 out of 22 possessions going down the stretch. Simply a great classic matchup, the matchup of the decade, Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Now, Michael Jordan will be playing Magic down in the low post. Magic gets to the line about 10 times a game during the playoffs. I do think the officials will probably allow Michael Jordan a few more liberties than maybe the normal player, knowing that they're not going to get this guy in foul trouble. Another matchup that is going to be very key in this series is the matchup with Scottie Pippen and James Worthy, 2 of the classic small forwards in this league. Pippen, a newcomer coming to superstar status. Worthy, in his career, has shot 55% against the league. Against Pippen in their matchups, he has averaged 46% because of his quickness and his long reach. Now, a key matchup in this series, and they won't play one another that much, will be John Paxson and Byron Scott. Both great shooters. They live off the greatness of Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Scott right now shooting 58% from three-point line. And right here, one of the problems, Michael Jordan will find John Paxson, especially if Magic Johnson matches up there. He will be burying jumpers all night long. A critical player for the Bulls. Byron Scott on the other end. The Bulls are concerned about this run out. Scott gets out on a regular basis. Magic finds him down the court, and he can knock that jumper down.
Now, what is the story with James Worthy? He did not practice with his team yesterday. In Mike Dunleavy's assessment, he was about 75%, and he didn't play very well at all on Thursday night in Game 6 against Portland. They will start him today. They will hope he'll be able to explode off that left ankle. If he can't, Scottie Pippen is going to eat him alive. Speaking of Worthy, this NBA final marks a unique reunion. Worthy, Michael Jordan, and Sam Perkins will all start, of course, in today's game. 9 years ago, these 3 players started for the same University of North Carolina team in the NCAA finals. Trio to a dynamic duo. Stand by, folks, because it's the Insiders, Peter Vesey and Bob Ferry, live from the NBA Finals when we continue from Chicago Stadium. Game 1 just a few minutes away on NBC. All right, welcome back to Chicago Stadium. Isn't this a pretty sight? The Andrews sisters never sat this close. The Insiders, Peter Vesey and Bob Ferry, will get their thoughts on the series itself in just a few moments. But first, this time of the year, the trade talk really heats up. What's going on?
Well, I got a big camp in Chicago coming up this week, and you know, nothing was happening up until now. And you know, the first 3 picks of this draft, Bob, are considered virtually untouchable. So everybody's going to the Nuggets at number 4 to try and get something going. Right now, I hear that the Hawks and the Hornets are talking to them about a 3-way deal involving their big men. Blair Rasmussen would be going to the Hawks, and we'd have the who else we got there?
J.R. Reed.
J.R. Reed would probably be going from the Hornets with probably Del Curry, and then we'd have Kevin Willis and Doc Rivers probably going to the Nuggets, and then Willis would go to the Hornets for the other two guys. It's very complicated, but that's what you hear
Somebody got
about.
a telestrator to diagram this deal?
We got Bob O'Reilly.
It's called the classic three-way trade,
Right.
boy. I tell you.
Is Larry Brown on the move? Did I hear that?
Well, Larry Brown put in a paper down in Charlotte that, he would consider the South Carolina job. And I tried to get a hold of Larry, but Larry is bicycling in France. So I talked to his best friend and his agent, Joe Glass, and Joe said that Larry eventually wants to get back in college. They haven't contacted South Carolina on the record yet. And the surprising thing was he indicated to me if Larry Brown wanted really to go to South Carolina, that he didn't think that the San Antonio owner, Red McComb, would object.
Well, evidently they must not be two peas in a pod, but nonetheless, despite the fact that Larry always has that wanderlust, you'd have to think he'd want to give it one more shot with a team that has David Robinson and has a chance to win.
Well, I found out that he has, through an intermediary, contacted South Carolina, and so he is very interested in that job. There are an awful lot of guys that are interested in Alex English, Brian Winters. We've got Terry Holland that's interested in, Gary Williams from Maryland. Dick Harder has even put his name in for that job.
Former Hornet coach.
Right.
It would surprise me very much if Larry did take the job. I mean, he has done a great job of building that franchise, being part of it. It was a disappointing loss. I know a lot of people are disappointed about how they went out, but they're on the brink of breaking through, and he's a big part of that, and it would be a big loss for the NBA if he goes to South Carolina.
Just a moment. Let me ask our director, Kelly Atkinson, to reprise the two-shot he had just a moment ago of Peter Vesey and Pat Riley looking like best pals come September or October when this guy is coaching the Knicks and this fella pulls out the blade.
And he's going to give me a facial, he said.
It's at least twice a week. At least twice a week, right.
But it'll be honest, anyhow.
All right, let's get to the matter at hand here. Thoughts on the Bulls and the Lakers?
Well, I really think the Chicago Bulls are going to win this in 7 games. I think Chicago's got the best half-court defense, especially if they pick up the Lakers out high like they did against Detroit. It'll keep the ball from going into the big men. I pick Chicago.
Peter?
Well, I'm going to go with whoever Dean Smith thinks is going to win this thing. What do you think? Which North Carolina team is he going to root for? Which player? I think that you've got to go with Magic because no player has ever been able to control the tempo like he has. The only way the Bulls are going to get around that, I believe, is if they press him full court. He did look tired as the games ended in Portland. The 6th game, he was really dragging. So I think they're going to try and force him, maybe the way that the Sixers did with Andrew Toney, make him turn every which way.
Riles?
Well, I think they talked a lot about hunger. Michael Jordan has said, we are hungry, they are experienced. But when it comes down to this series, right now, the Los Angeles Lakers have players who have played in 140 final games. The Chicago Bulls have had no player play in the finals. I think it's going to come down to experience. It will be a 7-game win for the Lakers.
Well, for whatever it's worth, the last team to win an NBA championship on the franchise's first trip to the finals was Bill Walton's Trailblazers in 1977. If you want to make a small distinction, the last team to win on its first trip to the finals with an essentially new cast was the Lakers in 1980. You can't count Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain and the rest years earlier. So the last time a new group won was in 80. The last time a franchise making its first trip won was in 77. That's the trend that Jordan and the Bulls are trying to buck. When we come back, we'll take a look at one of the most important Bulls, a man who's gone from star to superstar this year, Scottie Pippen. That's when we continue just prior to Game 1 from Chicago.
Of the NBA Finals. You know, this series is being billed as Magic versus Michael, but it's their teammates who will play a big part in determining the title this year. For the Bulls, Jordan's best supporting player this season has been Scottie Pippen, a man once accused of disappearing in the playoffs. Well, that's not the case anymore, and Gail Gardner has the story on that.
If the Grand Canyon could speak, it would sound like Scottie Pippen.
Well, I feel great, I can say it.
If a Picasso could come to life, it would look like Scottie Pippen. And if Michael Jordan had a little brother playing in the NBA, it would probably be Scottie Pippen. The Chicago Bulls are on the verge of their first NBA championship, and with his 2nd straight career-best year, Pippen has emerged as an all-around star. Pippen credits the high-flying Jordan with helping him come into his own.
having an opportunity to play with him and watching him, I try to pick up a lot of his game. One part of his game that I admire, that even I have tried to work on, and we joke about it all the time, I cannot go to the left and dunk on people. He does it with the ease that I've never seen anybody do it, except for James Worthy.
Pippen on the drive, left of the lane to the rack. Whoa!
If there's one main criticism of Pippen, it's that in the past he has disappeared in big playoff games. Ejection against the Knicks in '89. Elbowed out by the Pistons' Bill Laimbeer in 1990. And last year, the biggest headache of all. How have you dealt with the knock on you that you don't come through in big games, like the migraine in Game 7 against the Pistons last year?
It's something that just happened to me, and I can't take it back now. I mean, it was real harsh, real frustrating, but, you know, I tried to give my best effort, and I went out and played, but, I mean, the results were 0.
Pippen hasn't disappeared in this year's playoffs, as the Pistons found out firsthand, and he certainly didn't back down and wasn't intimidated by the dirty tactics of Dennis Rodman.
I'm not going to let that bother me. I'm going to try to put it behind me, and maybe I'll have a scar right here, but whatever. It was a frustration move on his part, but, you know, I got a letter from him today, which, you know, whoever wrote it, you know, was telling me that they were sorry, but, I mean, it still doesn't take out of my mind what he did.
So what you're really saying is that you don't think Dennis Rodman actually wrote that letter to you himself?
It's probably, you know, either his agent or someone within the organization, but I don't think Dennis Rodman is that kind of profession that he would be willing and have the pride to do that.
Scotty grew up in rural Arkansas, the youngest of 12 children. Not recruited out of high school, he began college as the team manager at tiny Central Arkansas. Strongly supported by his family, his one regret is that his father, who died last spring, can't see him play for the NBA title.
Once I grew up as a kid, I think in 10th grade, he had a stroke and he was paralyzed and he lost his speech at that time. And I never did get the response of knowing whether or not he knew what I was doing. I knew that he was watching me on TV. You know, it was the only feedback that I could get to know that, let him know that I had made it and to know that he was very proud of me.
Many folks are taking pride in Scotty these days, from his family to Bulls management to his teammates. Now Pippen wants to take pride in an overall playoff performance that doesn't include any disappearing acts.
Moments ago, Scottie Pippen and the rest of the Bulls coming out onto the floor. There's Pippen. Pat, I've spoken with him each of the last 2 days. There's almost a serenity about him. If he is experiencing butterflies, if he's ultra keyed up, he's disguised it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's the ultimate breakthrough bout for him. He's had his scars. He's had his wounds. He's had a tough career thus far to this point. He's had some back problems. He's had surgery. He had a bad year about his second or third year. He had to go through the Detroit migraine headache. And right now, Scottie Pippen this season and throughout the playoffs is breaking through to the level of the Barkleys, the Birds, and the Worthies. He is becoming a superstar in his own right, and he proves it night in and night out.
In fact, he has outplayed Worthy in the 2 games head-to-head this year, and Worthy is, at least to some extent, we'll have to watch early to see how great an extent, but we know somewhat Worthy is hobbling. This is a potential big edge for Pippen and the Bulls.
Well, right now, James Worthy, the question is just how healthy is this guy? He was about 75%, as you mentioned the other night, but it's a perfect matchup. James Worthy will bring out the best in Scottie Pippen, and Scottie Pippen will bring out the best in James Worthy. It isn't going to be about Michael Jordan and Magic. It's going to be about those 2 guys.
The Bulls have won 15 consecutive home games in the playoffs, dating back to the '89 East Finals against the Pistons. As you can hear, even now before the game starts, the place is a madhouse. If they hold serve, they can lose all 3 at the Forum. They hold serve, they're champs.
Well, if they're going to hold serve, that's going to be, I mean, that's critical for them with this 2-3-2. The Lakers, they went into Houston and won on the road the very first time. They won on the road at Golden State the first time. They went to Portland and won on the road the first time. They are most dangerous going on the road in playoff series that first game. And if there are any kind of jitters right here by Chicago because it's their first time, the Lakers will take full advantage of that.
One thing that can be fairly said about Chicago, they have not been psychologically tested yet in these playoffs. They've blown through all of their opponents. Now, true, Detroit was an obstacle because they'd lost 3 straight times to them. But they've never been down 1-0. They've never been down 2-0. The Lakers, this veteran team, has been in almost every conceivable position through the years, positive or negative. How will Chicago react if they lose one of these first 2 games here at Chicago Stadium? A big question. The first of the answers coming up in a few minutes. We hand the microphones to Marv Albert and Mike Fratello. It's game 1 for all the marbles from Chicago. Stay with us.
A matchup so natural, so provocative, that basketball fans have argued it for years. Who is the better player, they've asked? But of course, there's been no answer. Because how are we to judge? One man is the league's top scorer, but his counterpart is the all-time assist leader. One man is the current MVP, but the other owns 5 championship rings. These stalemates have then led to the ultimate subjective question. Which man makes his teammates better? In this season, to be sure, there is no clear-cut difference. And so the debate has raged on radio talk shows, in the press, in the imagination, but never on the basketball court until now. This is the place where fantasy meets reality. Michael versus Magic, with the game's biggest prize at stake. Let the answer reveal itself.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1991 NBA Finals. Today, Game 1 between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Chicago Bulls.
You are looking at Chicago Stadium, and they are basketball crazy here in Chicago as we approach the start of the NBA Championship Series. Usual capacity crowd, better than 17,000 on hand as the Bulls add to their all-time attendance record. This the 189th straight sellout at Chicago Stadium. Hi everybody, I'm Marv Albert along with Mike Fratello, and we welcome you to game number 1 of the best of 7. Now only 12 times since Michael Jordan entered the NBA back in 1984 have he and Magic Johnson met in the same game. Now this series eventually figures to be more than just Michael going up against Magic, but the matchup problems they present are intriguing. First of all, Mike, from the Laker point of view, how will they defend against Michael Jordan, the most explosive player in the game?
Marv, the Lakers realize you don't use the word stop when speaking of Michael Jordan. Mike Dunleavy told us yesterday he'd love to double-team Michael Jordan at every opportunity to try and get the ball out of his hands. The problem is the rest of the Bulls have raised their game level. The result, a trip to the championship series. The Lakers have an outstanding team defense, one that will double-team and surround Jordan selectively during the course of the game. but sometimes not even a double team or triple team is enough to stop Michael. He has just too much at the offensive end of the floor.
What do you feel the Bulls will attempt to do in going up against Magic Johnson?
Well, because Magic controls about 95% of the Lakers' offense, Chicago will use a philosophy similar to the one they used against the Detroit Pistons and Isaiah Thomas. Get the ball out of the point guard's hands as much as possible. Versus Magic, expect Chicago's extended defense to use early traps, keeping pressure on them at all times. Now, the problem that surfaces is, because of the matchups, Jordan on defense versus Magic, the pressure has to come from a Michael Jordan, harassing him the entire time when he's playing offense. It's going to be interesting to see if anything is taken away from Jordan's offensive game because he's trying to stop Magic at the defensive end.
So it'll be Magic and the Lakers, Michael and the Bulls. It is a marquee get-together, and it is just moments away.
You know, when you're a competitor, you want to play against the best. I played against Larry, and I've always wanted to play against Michael.
This is it. This is what I've been waiting for. I think everybody in America's been waiting for. Michael against Magic. It's a big highlight. This is my first time to the finals, and I'm looking for an exciting final. Hopefully we can win, but it's going to be challenging.
Back in Chicago, we're set for the introduction of the lineups. Always a theatrical production here at Chicago Stadium. Let's join with Ray Clay on the public address.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the Chicago Stadium, the noisiest arena in the NBA. I'm Ray Clay, and today's Game 1 of the NBA Finals is between the LA Lakers and your Chicago Bulls. And now for this afternoon's lineups. First, for the visiting Los Angeles Lakers. At forward, from North Carolina, 6'9", Sam Perkins. At the other forward, from North Carolina, 6'9", James Worthy. At center, from Yugoslavia, 6'11", Vlade Divac. From Michigan State, at guard, 6'9", Irvin Magic Johnson. At the other guard, from Arizona State, 6'4", Byron Scott. The LA Lakers are coached by Mike Dunleavy. Phil Jackson.
And today we are enhanced by double coverage of the sidelines. We're joined by both Ahmad Rashad and Steve Jones. First, here's Ahmad.
All right, Marv, all week long, Michael Jordan has been trying to downplay the matchup between him and Magic. He said it's the Bulls against the Lakers. So this morning I said, Mike, no matter what you say, everybody in America realizes that this game is between you and Magic. He looked back with me. He had a twinkle in his eye and a big smile on his face, and he said, I know. Let's go down to Steve Jones.
All right, Ahmad, Magic agrees with you. This is a huge matchup, but the matchup that he's more concerned about is big game James Worthy and his availability against Scottie Pippen. I spoke to James Worthy before the game. He said his ankle is improving. He expects to play. I watched him during the warm-ups. He is still having a problem. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Steve. Ahmad, for the Chicago Bulls, this is their first ever appearance in the finals in this their silver anniversary season. For the Los Angeles Lakers, it is their 9th trip to the championship round in the last 12 years. A remarkable accomplishment. The officials, Hugh Evans, Jack Madden, and Hugh Hollins. And we're set for the start of Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series. Chicago Bulls finishing 61-21, winning the Central Division and whipping right through the playoffs. The LA Lakers 58-24 in the regular season, second in the Pacific, and then they were able to knock off the Portland Trailblazers in 6, wrapping up that series in Los Angeles this past Thursday. Vlade Divac, Bill Cartwright, and the opening tip controlled by the LA Lakers as Magic Johnson moves across against Michael Jordan. Perkins being played by Cartwright. And the call by Hugh Evans, a bump by Cartwright, who picks up the foul.
Both teams trying to establish an inside game immediately, according to what their coaches told us yesterday. Perkins down low, we'll see this a number of times, trying to get the ball down into Sam. He reads the defense before he makes his offensive move.
And now Magic posting and got it out for Worthy, who beat Pippen. And at least on that move, the ankle looked fine. Lakers with a 2-0 lead.
In fact, as we saw the last game against Portland, he was not able to make that move from the top of the circle off the dribble. He either caught it and shot or he reversed the ball. Good sign for the Lakers right there. James putting it on the floor.
Here's Pippen, and he's hit on the reach in. The first look was to Bill Cartwright as the Bulls tried to get Cartwright involved early, but he did not have the shot, and he whipped it right back outside. The foul was called on Worthy.
All the moves that have been planned out for the chess match we'll see unfold as the game goes on. Each team going down low initially, trying to get their centers off. On the other side, trying to put fouls on the opposing center to put him on the bench.
For Scottie Pippen, this has been a breakthrough season. He has emerged as an NBA All-Star. He has averaged 22 per game in the playoffs. Came up particularly big against the Detroit Pistons. And he's been shooting 53% from the floor. And Magic had it deflected out by Grant. It will be Laker ball.
Immediately, we'll see Chicago extend its defense and watch for the man on the ball, Grant, to go and double team occasionally, particularly if it's Magic handling to try and get it out of his hands.
And it's Vlade Divac, who does handle the ball well for a big man, providing the help. And from time to time, we'll see Phil Jackson use what he calls escort pressure. Divac to the left-hand hook to give the Lakers a 4-1 lead.
I don't know if I've seen Vlade use that one personally this season, but he was saving it for the right time.
Minute and a half gone by. Now Scott on Jordan. Here's Cartwright. Yes. Lakers 4, the Bulls 3.
Keep an eye on Michael Jordan as he guards Magic his hands. He's gotten a number of deflections this season against Magic in the 2 matchups. He anticipates the pass.
And Worthy went to the left hand. The Bulls looking to run. Jordan from deep. Yes. The Bulls take a 5-4 lead.
And immediately Phil Jackson signals to the defense, move up, find the ball early, put pressure on him.
Michael Jordan during the playoffs, for the most part, has been starting in low-key fashion, and then he has picked it up in the second half. He's been looking to distribute the basketball. Nice move by Perkins. He was able to get the step on Cartwright. Lakers by 1. Aaron Scott with his hands full in defending, at least at the start, against Michael Jordan. Divac up on Grant. Divac's got a piece of it. Scott spotting up. He's been hot from three-point land. And here comes Paxson. Pippen back for Paxson. Jordan open.
One thing you'll see from Chicago is excellent spacing on offense, good ball movement, unselfish play. One key sign is the assists in the playoffs. Jordan and Pippen lead the team in assists.
And Worthy threw up the air ball. Lakers get back. Pippen on the move. Perkins protecting. 3-on-2 for the Lakers. Scott, yes. And the Lakers now lead by the score of 8-5.
What confidence Magic shows by advancing the ball to his center to lead a 3-on-2 fast break and then believing that Vlade will make the right decision and be able to execute in the end.
Aaron Scott has shot well during the course of the playoffs. Grant, he had the position. Last touch by Johnson. It will be Chicago in possession.
I think one thing that the Lakers did pick up in the series from Portland was the understanding that we must become a better rebounding team. In the games they lost to the Trailblazers, they were beaten thoroughly on the glass. The ones they won, they made a strong comeback, did their share of rebounding.
Pippen extending. And Worthy gets to it. The Chicago Bulls have won 15 straight home playoff games. The last home playoff loss to Detroit last June the 2nd. Year ago to the day, Perkins. And the Lakers off to the good shooting start and jumped in front by the score of 10-5 with just a shade over 4 minutes gone by. Pippen lost it. And this is a rare situation as Scott fires, where the Bulls have not gotten off to the fast start, particularly here at home.
And is there anything to the fact that the number of days off maybe produced a little bit of rust and not in that game condition that you need, particularly in the championship series?
Michael Jordan now 1 for 3 from the field. And again, it's Divac handling the ball well. Divac going downtown court. Perkins. Here's Jordan. Lakers 10 and the Bulls 7.
Well, Michael Jordan made sure that one of those shots were going in. The jumpers weren't falling. He took it to the basket strong, dunked it the way all coaches like to see you do, to be sure.
Well, Paxson turned his head. He was caught on a mismatch, and Worthy able to take advantage. Lakers 12 and the Bulls 7. And Jordan was hit. Scott reaching in. Magic Johnson also involved, and they call it on Magic. Timeout taken, 6:36 remaining in this first quarter. Bulls last played last Monday afternoon and wrapping up the series against Detroit. A moment ago, we posed the question, how will the long layoff affect the Bulls? And we asked that of Phil Jackson.
6 days off, you really can't maintain the kind of energetic momentum. The camaraderie is still there, and the elated feeling of being in the finals. But you're really not in game shape right now. Your shooting isn't going to be as sharp as it was a week ago. So we have to rebuild the momentum. We're going to have to regenerate that again.
And the Bulls are trailing here early by the score of 12-7. Mike, I always feel, though, that is a point that is rationalized after the fact. Now, if the Bulls had gotten off fast, and was so early in the game, people would say, well, they're well rested. It's better. However, if they don't get off to the fast start, you'll pose the question, as you did, well, maybe the layoff hurt them. While the Lakers played recently, Thursday night.
There's no question, over the years, coaches have tried to find a solution for when they have too many days off. Some coaches I know, in fact, have brought outside teams in to play mini scrimmages against their team. Practicing against the same people is not the same as game situation. The shooting, the pressure defense, the running, the intensity, the concentration. So you must try to find a way to keep them sharp, but it's hard. The more days off, the harder it is to maintain that level of play.
Michael Jordan fouled just before the timeout by Magic Johnson. He is an 85% free throw shooter. In the playoffs, he leads the NBA. He's averaging 31 per ball game. Jordan hits 1 out of 2, and it's the Lakers 12 and the Bulls 8. Here's the light pressure, and the Lakers have no trouble with it. They have big men who can handle the ball in both Devonts and Perkins.
And they are prepared for the fact that the Bulls will try to keep that in Magic's hands. They have their releases ready, and they're executing very well right now.
Open shot for Worthy. Good look from Scott, and it's the Lakers 14 and the Bulls 8. Grant with Pippen and Cartwright up front. Paxson and Jordan at the guard. It is Byron Scott opening against Michael Jordan. Jordan able to blow right by.
And Magic immediately turning to Vlade and explaining, wait a minute, this is the way we had decided to play that play. Make sure you remember and do it. I'm relying on you.
We'll have to see how long Mike Dunleavy stays with the matchup of Byron Scott. There is one school of thought as you see Worthy positioned for the turnaround, and he's off to the fast start, 4 for 6, 8 points. That Byron Scott's offensive game can be affected when he matches up against Michael Jordan, which is understandable that Jordan has just disheartened him on so many occasions. Jordan battling for the rebound and fires again. Lakers by 4.
But Byron Scott shouldn't feel too bad because there are a lot of guys that have lost sleep the night before playing against Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, 4 out of 7, 9 points. Again, a post-up move by Perkins. Beautifully done by Sam Perkins. He had Horace Grant at his mercy.
Once again, the Bulls electing not to go double team immediately, playing the early part of the game straight up.
Bad pass saved by Cartwright. Oh, what a pass from Jordan. And Scottie Pippen cuts it down to 4. Paxson off the steal. Here's Jordan for Pippen. Rejected by Devonts. But it will be Chicago ball.
Jordan has decided that he's going to cut out the perimeter game for a while and try to take this thing to the basket strong. He foot fakes middle, goes baseline, no rotation that time by the rest of the Lakers.
Jordan stepping off the pick and changed his mind. Here's Paxson. Yes. And the Bulls, in the midst of a roll, have come within 2. Lakers have led by as many as 6.
Paxson mentioned to us yesterday, matter-of-factly, my job basically is go find an open area. Michael Jordan will find me with the basketball when he's double-teamed. I just got to knock shots down.
Shot clock down to 3. Perkins from downtown. Yes, Sam Perkins hits the 3, and it's the Lakers 21 and the Bulls 16.
And going into this game, in the playoffs, Perkins shooting 6 for 17, over 35% from the three-point line, something he used to do frequently when he was with the Dallas Mavericks.
And he comes off a strong game in the wind-up against Portland. Cartwright from well beyond his range.
But a great example of the Lakers defense extending and challenging a shot by a Bulls player. They put a lot of pressure on shooters.
3:20 to go in this first quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from Chicago Stadium. Again, Worthy looking to post. Cartwright getting inside, lost it to Devonts, and then was rejected. Here's Perkins. He threw the air ball. He had the new 24, may not have realized it. Paxson. Yes. The Lakers 21 and the Bulls 18, and the Bulls showing signs after the slow start. Mike Dunleavy will talk it over. Timeout taken by LA.
Miller Genuine Draft presents #1 draft choices.
Today's Miller #1 draft pick, Scottie Pippen of the Bulls, originally chosen number 5 overall by the Seattle Supersonics back in 1987. The Bulls acquired Pippen on draft day for the rights to Olden Polynice plus Other conditional picks, the two-time All-Star led the Bulls in assists this season, second on the team in scoring and rebounding. A reminder, at the end of today's broadcast, we'll be selecting the Miller Genuine Draft Player of the Game.
A while back, the Lakers, in trying to establish their half-court offensive game, sent Perkins low. Watch the Bulls defense checking it out. No double teams early. They're trying to play the post-up people straight up, but eventually in the game, Jackson usually turns the defense and starts trapping.
A.C. Green has come on for James Worthy. Worthy leads with 8. A.C. Green providing a spark at the Forum in Los Angeles on Thursday night. 23 minutes, 15 points. Also lifted the Lakers in games 3 and 4. Shot clock is down to 5. Scott. And back come the Bulls. They're down by 3. Pippen for Jordan. The Laker lead is 1 with 2:20 to go in this first quarter.
The Bulls' half-court offense may not be effective right now, but their transition game in the breakdown situations has been terrific.
And the foul called on Pippen. That will send Byron Scott to the free throw line.
The nice thing about this Bulls team is they have a number of people who can lead the break, make the right decision, and then perhaps the best finisher in basketball, Michael Jordan.
Byron Scott to the line. He shoots 2.
Lakers have led by as many as 6. They got off 14-8. And the Bulls have come back. Michael Jordan, leading the way with 11 points, also has 3 assists. So he has accounted for 17 of Chicago's 20 points. Arizona State grew up some 14 blocks from the Forum in Inglewood. Used to sneak his way into the Forum. I asked him his method. He said it's all in the technique. The key is distracting the guard, who he said often was reading a newspaper. Just under 2 minutes remaining. First quarter. Cartwright. Terrific extension by Bill Cartwright to get that up above Lonnie Devon.
And it's a move that Cartwright likes to use, but doesn't use it a whole lot, going back to that left shoulder for the extended jump hook.
Lakers by 1. Magic checking the shot clock. 3 on 2. Pippen. Oh, what a move by Scottie Pippen. The Bulls have taken a 1-point lead. Magic going right at Michael Jordan, and he drew the foul.
Great quickness by the Bulls in transition and the willingness to give the ball up. Jordan pitching ahead to Pippen, another guy who finishes pretty well.
Michael Jordan collecting his first foul. And Magic Johnson with his first point of the day. Two-time most valuable player, won it last season for the 2nd straight year. And this season, the runner-up to Michael Jordan. The Lakers 25, the Bulls 24, as we come up on 1 minute left in this opening quarter. Jordan off the fake. And he is on fire. 13 for Jordan. He's hit 6 of 9 from the field. Bulls by 1.
That time you saw them run a second player at Magic early that time to take some of the pressure off of Jordan.
Again, the shot clock down now at 5. Perkins forced. Green. And the loose ball foul has been called. It is on Grant.
A.C. Green does such a terrific job on the offensive boards. You must concentrate, keep a body on him at all times. He's had 33 offensive rebounds so far in the playoffs for the Lakers.
The Bulls are over the foul limit. A.C. Green in his 471st consecutive game. Last missed a game November of 1986. He's missed only 3 games in his 6th NBA season. Here's Craig Hodges replacing Bill Cartwright. So Phil Jackson will go small here in the final stages of the first quarter, but he likes to insert Hodges for the potential last-minute fling with the shot clock and the game clock working down.
What they like to do to end quarters and halves is put the ball in Jordan's hand in the middle of the floor, put Paxson Hodges on the wings, spotting up for three-pointers. If you come and double-team Michael, he'll kick it out. They like to knock out the three with the crowd roaring at the buzzer.
Game tied at 26. Jordan. Michael Jordan with 15 points.
And that's what happens when you don't double team and stay at home with the three-point shooters. Jordan has you one-on-one.
It's the Bulls by 2. Shot clock at 10. Game clock 13. Shot clock at 5. Perkins from downtown. So Perkins with a second three-pointer, 6 3/10 seconds to go in the quarter. What a pass from Jordan! 1 5/10 seconds to go. They are standing and cheering the Bulls, who with a late drive have taken a 30-29 lead on the Lakers. Led by Michael Jordan, who hit 7 of 10, 15 points, 5 assists. The Bulls have the lead after 1 in game 1 of the best of 7.
To do to end quarters, put the ball in Jordan's hand because he usually makes something good happen. You know, many times they say that when Michael Jordan's tongue is out, something bad's going to happen for the opposition. Takes a page out of Magic's book with the hook pass over the top.
A spectacular first quarter for Michael Jordan. 7 for 10 for 15 points, plus 5 assists. And as we mentioned earlier, throughout most of the playoffs, Michael has started slowly, kind of checking things out, getting his teammates involved, and then has poured it on, come on strong in the second half. Not the case here today.
Well, maybe his thinking is some of my teammates might be a little bit nervous. You know, big game situation, championship series. Let me give him some confidence, get him off to a quick start by doing it myself.
Cliff Levingston has checked in for the first time. Here's Jordan. Magic Johnson gets to it. Terry Teagle on the floor for the Lakers for the first time. So Divac with Green and Worthy up front. Worthy returning. Teagle and Johnson at the guards. They try to double up on Teagle. Bullet pass for Beauty. And the foul call. Magic Johnson spotting the open man, Vlade Divac. Cartwright called for the foul, his second.
One of the things you'll notice during this series is the great hands of Divac, the ability to catch the hard passes that Magic Johnson throws at the spur of the moment when a lot of players aren't expecting him. They have turnovers as a result. Divac comes up with the ball. Sounds simple, but so important.
Crowd reacting to the entrance of Will Perdue, who has become a crowd favorite here in Chicago. He replaces Bill Cartwright. 4 points, 2 personal fouls for Cartwright. Earlier this season, Perdue had complained about lack of playing time, that he moved up in Phil Jackson's rotation, began to play well, and came up solid during the playoffs.
We see a little change in the philosophy now defensively by the Lakers. With Teagle on the floor instead of Scott, James Worthy has moved over now to guard Michael Jordan.
Bulls 14 for 22 from the field in the first quarter. They made 12 of the last 15 after the slow start. Divac's able to take the dribble from Jordan.
And Michael Jordan knew he had a mismatch situation, tried to take Divac off the dribble, but the Lakers recognized and surrounded the ball immediately.
Lakers 50%, 11 for 22 shooting in the first quarter. Now Worthy backing Grant. Shot clock is at 5. And goes to the finger roll. What a move by James Worthy.
The best option, perhaps. Put it in the basket.
Lakers lead at 33-30. We're just underway in the second quarter. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones from Chicago Stadium. Perdue from Jordan.
You could see Magic that time give his teammates the verbal signal to come and double team when he wanted to help, but Jordan's so unselfish he finds the open man.
So the Lakers by 1. Here's Teagle getting inside. Terry Teagle had a disappointing regular season, but he's come on in the playoffs. Came on strong toward the end of the season after he was signed as a free agent after spending time in Houston, Detroit, Golden State. That's a three-point attempt by Hodges. Green on the rebound.
The Lakers are so tough because they will post any one of 5 people. Worthy with the post-up move and score right there. 4 of the 5 starters will post up. Only Scott not being a post-up guy. And then Teagle off the bench is another post-up man. Most teams are happy to have just 1 or 2 post-up guys.
12 points for Worthy. Lakers extend to a 5-point lead. The pass broken up. And back comes Magic. 8-2 run by the Los Angeles Lakers. Worthy with the opening. And the loose ball foul called. It's on Divac. 9:15 remaining in the second quarter. Lakers lead 37-32. A timeout call.
As long as Michael Jordan is away from the basket, Magic Johnson will play him straight up. Jordan will then try to back down the player into the scoring area, and at a certain point, you'll see Magic turn his head, ask for help from his teammates, but keep an eye underneath Will Perdue because Jordan finds his open teammates.
Yes, he is the czar of the telestrator. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, during that last timeout, Phil Jackson was saying that they're trying to go to their offensive menu. A lot of isolations, a lot of screen roll. What he was upset was there's too much congestion underneath the basket. The big men not doing enough spacing. Let's go over to Steve.
All right, Ahmad, the Los Angeles Lakers feel confident that they can score at any offensive possession. Their big concern is defensive rotation off of Michael Jordan. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Steve, and Craig Hodges able to hit his first field goal with 3 minutes gone by. In the second quarter, the Lakers lead the Bulls 37-34. Check of the stats, 6 assists apiece for Jordan and Johnson. Teagle had it knocked away. Shot clock is at 14. Scottie Pippen checking back in. He'll replace Horace Grant. Leads with a field goal for 2. Phil Jackson was telling us at practice yesterday that the Lakers will try to lull you to sleep. Then they'll pick you apart. They have a way of frustrating the defense. They take so much time off the 24-second clock, and we've certainly seen that here in the first quarter. Worthy with another gorgeous move. Worthy with 14. And remember, there were questions about Worthy because of that sprained ankle. Lakers by 5. Deflected out. It will be Chicago ball.
Worthy has the ability to back you down to the last possible second on the 24-second clock, and then finds a way to get a good shot off.
And the Bulls shot clock is at 10. Divac's able to jump out effectively. Here's Pippen. And Teagle on the rebound. AC Green up front with Vlade Divac, James Worthy, Magic Johnson, and Terry Teagle now at the guard. Matchup is now Livingston against Worthy, who's backing him down, and then not able to hit the jump. Here comes Jordan. Michael goes all the way, and then a late decision, and he's called for the travel. He tried to hand it off. He was undecided. And a rare traveling violation indicator.
Jack Madden saying that Michael's feet touched the ground before he actually got rid of the basketball. He's airborne, and the foot, he says, comes down before the pass is delivered. From another angle, check it out and see if the feet touch before the ball is delivered. Looks like a good call.
And Michael Jordan will sit down. B.J. Armstrong has come on for the first time. 15 points, 7 assists for Jordan. Good play by Livingston.
First thing Livingston did was he got Worthy off the block. Next thing, he denied him the ball, got the deflection out of bounds.
Cliff Livingston did not get the playing time during the regular season and had a disappointing regular season after coming over from the Atlanta Hawks, but he stepped it up, in particular in the series against Detroit. Purdue got a piece of that shot attempt, and the foul is called.
in speaking with Livingston, he felt early in the season he was so concerned about not messing up the Bulls team when he was out on the floor. A rather intricate half-court offensive system, one that he was, well, if he goes back, he was so embedded into the Hawks system for such a long number of years that he moves over into Chicago's new system, and he said, I was just afraid of messing up when I got on the floor and really didn't just go out and play.
Was that complicated Hawk system under Coach Fratello you're referring to?
These 3 plays that we had.
Will Perdue called for the foul. A.C. Green on the line. Livingston emerged in the series against Detroit. He actually came to Chicago Stadium very upset prior to one of the big games he had against the Pistons after he read a newspaper column in which he and another newcomer, Dennis Hobson, were referred to as clutter in terms of what they have contributed off the bench. And he said that gave him the extra incentive to prove his critics wrong. Here's Hodges.
Yes.
And the Lakers lead 41-36. Well, maybe Phil Jackson will be ghostwriting some tough stories on Cliff Livingston, try and get him going. 5 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Now Perdue guarding Perkins. Off the steal, Livingston for Perdue, and he will go to the line.
Almost a bad decision that turns into a good play for Chicago. Livingston gave it up to a big man too far from the basket, but they'll wind up shooting 2 free throws.
Larry Drew just committed that foul. Welcome back to Chicago. The Lakers lead the Bulls by 5 points, 6:49 remaining in this first half, and we have an NBA Finals flashback involving a couple of Lakers. 6 years to the day, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar passed Jerry West as the all-time leading scorer in playoff history. Not only did Kareem pass West in this series, he won the Most Valuable Player award of the Finals as he led the Lakers past Boston in 6 games. Magic Johnson looking to put a move on Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Larry Bird. Magic sitting out. Larry Drew has come on for the first time, so Mike Dunleavy going with a combination of Teagle and Drew in the backcourt. Perkins with Green and Worthy up front. Will Perdue to the free throw line in his 3rd year out of Vanderbilt, and that is his 3rd point of the day.
As has been the case for the Bulls, whenever Phil Jackson puts 4 of the bench players on the court, Armstrong, Hodges, Livingston, Perdue, either Jordan or Pippen remain out there to be the glue for that unit.
Pressure by the Bulls, providing some problems for the Lakers. Phil Jackson will go with the light pressure, and he'll use it as a surprise element. Drew shooting the 3, Perdue on the rebound.
And that full court pressure wound up in a rush shot for the Lakers that time.
However, the Bulls give it right back. Larry Drew moving it against B.J. Armstrong. Here's Teagle, called for the travel.
Teagle had 2 good looks at the basket that time, wound up trying to get a better shot, and as a result, turned it over.
High-point man of the game, Michael Jordan, 15 points. Along with his 7 assists, he's accounted for 29 of the 36 Bulls points prior to sitting down. Perdue. Will Perdue going glass for his 2nd field goal, and the Bulls move within 1. The leading scorers for the Lakers, Worthy 14, Perkins with 12. Here's Perkins, and again it is Perdue on the rebound. Pippen taking Teagle down low. Yes, and it counts.
Chicago wound up playing pick and roll basketball. basketball with Scottie Pippen coming off a screen set by Craig Hodges. Lakers switch, but as a result, Pippen had a smaller man, takes advantage of it, and backs him right into the hole.
Mike Dunleavy making changes. Magic Johnson returns, as does Byron Scott. And Vlade Divac, the Bulls have reeled off 8 consecutive points. Michael Jordan back on the floor. Jordan trying to sneak inside, but it will be Laker ball. The Bulls 42 and the Lakers 41. Livingston able to pick it off.
And the Lakers had stationed Worthy at the opposite end of the floor. The Bulls did not match up. Magic just looked up a little bit too late. The idea was right. Execution is a little sloppy that time.
Again, Jordan played by Scott. Evans over to help. Pippen with 2 on the shot clock, has to fire it. And it is a 24-second violation.
We've been giving the Bulls defense a lot of credit, but we must remind people the Lakers have played outstanding defensive basketball, particularly down the stretch of the regular season and throughout the playoffs.
Lakers and Bulls meeting for the first time in the NBA Finals. First time they've met in the playoffs since 1973. Livingston with the rejection. Here's Armstrong. Yes. B.J. Armstrong in his second year out of Iowa has done an excellent job coming off the bench this season. A 10-0 run by the Bulls. They now lead it by 3. It is their biggest lead of the game. Here's Magic, who's been quiet. Bulls looking for an offensive foul. They do not get the call.
Magic sees the crease in the defense, just puts his head down basically, says, I'm going to the basket. Bulls a little slow in closing down that lane to the rim.
Magic is 2 for 2 from the line. An illustrious career for Earvin Magic Johnson. He is the NBA's second all-time leader in steals behind Maurice Cheeks of the New York Knicks, and now the all-time assist leader, breaking Oscar Robertson's record that was back in April. Here's Jordan. And Michael will go to the free throw line.
I can't say for sure whether the Bulls are trying to play mind games with Byron Scott, but as soon as he comes back in and the matchup takes place, Scott versus Jordan, Chicago sent Michael Jordan down in the hole on a post-up to get him off right away versus Scott.
Michael Jordan on the line, he shoots 2.
Jordan is 1 for 2 from the foul line. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this first half. And the Bulls lead it by 1. Bill Cartwright is back, and Will Perdue hears it from the crowd. And now a timeout taken. When we come back, it'll be Jordan back to the foul line. Well, the Lakers led by as many as 7, but a 10-0 run by Chicago has propelled the Bulls to their biggest lead, a margin of 3. Excellent job by the Bulls bench. And again, Cliff Livingston providing an emotional lift.
A guy who knows his role. Rebound, play good defense against the team's top scorers. Very willing to do that.
All right, let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Cliff Livingston may be playing well right now, but last night he had a tough time sleeping. He said he was so nervous about this game, he couldn't eat. He tried to eat breakfast this morning, and Marv, he lost his breakfast, but he's been playing well. Back to you.
Ahmad has such a way with words, doesn't he? He lost his breakfast.
Very impressed.
You know, I never quite heard it captured in that manner. Michael Jordan on the line for his second free throw. 3:56 remaining in the first half. So the Bulls lead it 45-43. And again, the light pressure by Chicago. Magic met by the trap. Divac, Worthy, Perkins up front. Scott Johnson in the backcourt.
And because of the switch, all of a sudden, Michael Jordan is on Vlade Divac, playing him down low. The double team gets it out of his hand.
Magic delivering for Divac. Shot clock down to 1. And it's blocked by Pippen. It's a 24-second violation.
The trapping defense forced a mismatch. Jordan on Divac. Unfortunately, Vlade couldn't find the handle on the ball.
Now Pippen played by Worthy. Caught right, eluding Divac. Crowd looking for a foul.
With the long arms of Sam Perkins, bothered the shot, forced the miss.
Crowd wanted to travel, but Armstrong picked it off. It's a 2-on-1. Here's Jordan. 18 points for Michael Jordan. Bulls lead at 47-43.
They're just getting now into their half-court offense with 10 seconds left on the 24-second clock.
Shot clock to 2. So once again, the Lakers roll that shot clock all the way down. 6 points for Divac. And the Bulls lead at 47-45. Jordan with the fake right, went left, and then was bottled up. Good play by Scott.
3 Lakers surrounding Jordan once he put it on the floor.
Yes, Byron had some help, but was able to deflect it away. Here's a mismatch. Perkins, and he drew the foul. Livingston coming over to help out Armstrong. So Sam Perkins, a college teammate of Michael Jordan, as was James Worthy, to the free throw line. Over the last 3 years, he has worked vigorously with weights. 6 years in Dallas, signed with the Lakers as an unrestricted free agent last August, and it has turned into a splendid move by Laker general manager Jerry West.
And as you follow Perkins in his career, he started out under Dick Mott, a little bit of post-up action. When John Mackay, Richie Adebayo took over, a little more post-up action. When Adebayo was named the head coach, stuck him down in the hole on a full-time basis. He said score from down low, and then Dunleavy has taken over now, and it gives him 5 people to post up on offense.
The crowd reacting to the play of Cliff Livingston. Horace Grant checking back in. The Lakers and the Bulls tied at 47. Game 1 of the NBA Championship Series. Game 2 here Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on NBC. Game 3 in LA next Friday night, starting at 9 Eastern Time. Cartwright to the fadeaway. Divac on the rebound. It has been a media onslaught here in Chicago. Credentials issued to 550 journalists representing 12 countries, including Italy, Greece, Spain, France, and Japan. 3-point attempt by Perkins. He hit 2 earlier. And this championship series is being seen in 70 countries. Armstrong wide open. A minute 20 left in the first half. Game tied at 47. Magic had it broken up. Last touch by the Lakers. Now Magic Johnson appealing to the outside official, Hugh Hollins. Jack Madden made the call, and the call standing. Here's Pippen. Scottie Pippen going glass. He has 9. Bulls lead 49-47. Coming up at halftime, the final shootout, with Bob and Pat going at each other on the Prudential halftime report. That is coming up momentarily. Shot clock at 5. Worthy from downtown. And the foul is called. Scott grabbed by Armstrong.
Mike Dunleavy reminding James Worthy, if there's enough time on that 24-second clock, use the dribble penetration to get in the seam and force another rotation by the Bulls defense. That time, James, because the shot clock had almost gone off, had to launch the long jumper.
Mike Dunleavy, 36 years old, a product of the schoolyards of Brooklyn. Excellent playmaking, scoring guard at South Carolina. He took over under pressure conditions from Pat Riley. Mike Dunleavy was in a no-win situation, but he still won. 6th round draft pick of the Philadelphia 76ers. Eventually landed with Houston. 4-year stay there. Also played at San Antonio and Milwaukee. And an assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks.
After what Pat Riley had accomplished with the Lakers program, there are many coaches that would not want to step into those shoes or sit in that head coach position. Dunleavy looked at it a little bit differently. He said, hey, I think this team has a chance to win a championship. I'd like to be part of all that. Let me take a shot at it.
Game tied at 49. Here's Armstrong. Yes! E.J. Armstrong with his second field goal. And the indication, a two-pointer. The Bulls were looking for a three. That's the reason for the stoppage. 30 seconds left in the half. Teagle is checked back in, racing with Hodges. Teagle and Johnson. And Scott on the floor in a three-guard alignment, along with Worthy and Perkins. And the foul is called.
That time, Magic did not give Jordan a chance to body up on him, did not give him a chance to double. As soon as he caught the basketball, he turned and went. Keep an eye at Scott and Jordan down low. The battle taking place, the bodies, the arms. It's a battle out here.
Jordan called for his second. Magic Johnson has been very quiet offensively. He's 4 for 4 from the line. He has attempted only one field goal attempt. But as we have seen throughout the season, 22nd timeout called by the Bulls. It has not been important that Magic come up with big numbers. In fact, when he scores in prolific fashion, the Lakers usually have either lost or not played well. The assist category has been the significant one when it comes to Magic Johnson and W's for the Lakers.
Magic Johnson on the glass helps the Lakers. Magic Johnson directing the show out there, understanding that he had to take a little bit more of the scoring burden upon himself when Kareem retired, but he doesn't want to overdo it to the point where the spotlight's on him for scoring. He'd rather share that part of it with his teammates, just make him win in the end.
Magic in his 12th season out of Michigan State. Earlier this year, missed a couple of games with a jammed middle finger on his right hand. He was telling us how happy he is to be healthy after the long grind of the regular season and on to the final round of the playoffs. Lakers and Bulls tied at 51. We are down to 10 seconds to go in the half. Pippen try to hand off to Grant. There's Grant. Now Pippen, and he drew the foul with 2 7/10 seconds left in the first half. Foul called on Perkins. That is his first.
The initial defense by the Lakers was outstanding. They took away the drive off the dribble by Pippen. They cut off on the dump down pass for the layup by rotating from the weak side. It was just the extra hustle by the Bulls coming up with the second, third shot opportunities.
Scottie Pippen is 1 for 3 from the line. The Bulls only 5 out of 9 from the free throw line. Lakers at 17 of 18. Pippen only a 71% free throw shooter. Bulls take timeout taken by Mike Dunleavy. So when we come back, Pippen will go to the line to shoot his second. 2 7/10 seconds remaining in the half. Wednesday night, Magic and Michael resume as they move their dream matchup to prime time for Game 2 of the NBA Championship Series. The Lakers and the Bulls. Wednesday night starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time right here.
This will force you to stay up a little bit later than normal, 9 p.m. starting time?
Yes. Take a nap during the day. I'll be fine. I think we need referee Arthur Mercanti to check this one out. Let's see, salary about the same. We're not talking about all the extracurricular activities. MVP awards, Magic with 3, Michael with 2, but the big number that Michael would like to put a dent into under the category of championships.
In fairness, the supporting cast has been a little bit different with the Lakers over the years than it has been here in Chicago. The Lakers have been there, have built it, and maintained it. The Bulls on their way to getting there.
And this is a strong first half for the Lakers on the home court of the Chicago Bulls. Here's Pippen from center court. Lakers shot only 44%, but they're down by only 2, while the Bulls 61% shooting in the first half. Jordan leading the way with 18 points, along with the 5 rebounds and 8 assists. Halftime in Chicago, game 1 of the best of 7. The Bulls by 2. Bob and Pat coming up in just a moment.
And welcome back to Chicago Stadium, the second oldest arena in the NBA, built in 1929. Only Boston Garden has been around longer. What it gives away to the Forum in glamour, it makes up in atmosphere. These fans came in psyched to see Michael versus Magic, the Bulls versus the Lakers, and so it's obligatory that we check the totals. Michael, 18 points, most of them in the first quarter. 8 assists, 5 rebounds. He's had a hand in 34 of the 53 Chicago points. Magic, just 5 points, 6 assists, 3 boards. An early question, Worthy versus Pippen. Pippen didn't get off in the first quarter, but did come on in the second. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 for 9. Worthy, what a revelation for Mike Dunleavy. 14 points, couple of rebounds, 7 for 14. He looks okay.
Well, obviously, Bob, there was a lot of concern coming into this game about James's ankle. 7 out of 14, 14 points. He's putting the ball up a lot. But one thing we noticed in the first half, I don't think he's 100%. I do believe he's going to be able to play throughout the game. And I think at the end of the game, when there's fatigue, is when you're going to see it the most. Right here with Horace Grant, watch the pivoting. I think right there you can see whether or not the guy is ailing, but he makes the shot over the top. This has been a game that a lot of people talked about, the Pippen-Worthy matchup. Really, it's a lot of different players playing Worthy. Worthy right now on Michael Jordan, or Michael Jordan guarding him. A quick spin move baseline. Again, the shot drops, and Worthy has shown with the 14 points that he could have a real big game.
Fast break points, as you might expect. Chicago's 16, the Lakers only 4. The Lakers want the half-court game to run only when the opportunity is there. The Bulls want to play racehorse if they can.
Well, the interesting thing about that, Bob, is that the Bulls looked very good for 2 or 3 minutes. I thought the bench coming in with Purdue, Livingston, Hodges, and Armstrong created a lot of pressure. The fast break differential is not that important right now because the Lakers come right back and they control the tempo, and they're not allowing the Bulls to get off on like 12-2 runs.
All right, it's 53-51, Chicago at the half. When we come back, we'll turn our attentions to a different competition. The level in the shootout between Riley and myself is much lower, but it's every bit as close. Tied at the end of the semifinals of the playoffs, we go to a sudden death shootout. It'll be decided, and you'll see it right after this. Changed Magic Johnson a point. He has 6, not 5, but all of them on free throws, no field goals. Speaking of free throws, let's take a quick look back at how Pat and I arrived at the finals deadlocked in the shootout. Here it is. We get 1 shot per show for the entire year, each of us, then we'll see who's ahead at year's end. Ready? Watch. Riley, no!
Come on, let's go. We don't have time.
But I can't shoot my high arcer. The studio lights are in the way. Oh, but the lights! But you gotta shoot it flat. Then on Christmas Day, it was Riley connecting here in Chicago.
Here it is, Riley. Yes! Unbelievable!
You gotta hit air.
Pat has done it again.
Meanwhile, Dan Deerdorf and I worked my driveway in snowy St. Louis.
Good follow through, Bob, now. You know, don't exhale. Yes! A hit.
Back in the studio, I built a 2-shot lead, but Riley cut it to 1 and put the pressure on me Tuesday night. This was to assure me of no worse than a tie, but it rattled in and out. So that brings us to this point, a reminder of what's at stake. At Pat's suggestion, the loser would have to wear his hair in the fashion of the winner. As we showed you on Thursday night, this is what it might look like It looks like the results of a bizarre genetic experiment gone horribly wrong. Now, earlier today, with several witnesses, we had the sudden death shootout on the floor right here at Chicago Stadium. We would shoot until a winner was decided. I won the coin flip, and deciding to try and put the pressure on this man.
Making it sound too good now.
I elected to go first.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Yes, big time.
The traditional handshake. Riley trying to psych me. I had been hot in warm-ups, hitting 9 of 10. And there it is when it counts. The pressure on Riles.
That's why I took the Nick coaching job, Bob. I had to go back and coach myself how to shoot. Thank God I'm out of this place. Boy, I'll never live this one down.
Come Wednesday night.
There it is, right there, Chris. I told you it was going to end up this way.
Time to blow dry on Wednesday night. A nation waits breathlessly.
I can't wait. A new look, a new life, a new city, a new team. Blow it dry for the Knicks.
New chapter in the life of Riley. Back to Fratello and Albert. Right after this, the Bulls by a deuce at the half. Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Halftime of Game 1 of the best of 7 in Chicago, and the Bulls in an excellent first half, leading the Los Angeles Lakers 53-51. An unusual fast start for Michael Jordan. That has not been his pattern, particularly during the playoffs, and a quiet start, at least statistically, by Magic Johnson.
But we shouldn't be too surprised, because these are the respective roles that they each play for their teams. Michael called upon so frequently to be the focal point scoring. Magic does it in the roundabout way, getting everyone else involved and then picking and choosing his spots.
Michael Jordan leading the way with 18 points, 8 for 12 from the field. Magic Johnson attempted only 1 field goal, did not hit it, has only 6 points all from the line. Let's go over to Steve Jones. Welcome back to Chicago. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones, and the Bulls by 2 over the Lakers as we head to the third quarter. Worthy and Perkins leading Los Angeles with 14, 18 for Jordan, Pippen with 11. The Bulls backcourt has done the job. The combination of Michael Jordan along with John Paxson and B.J. Armstrong and Craig Hodges. Armstrong and Hodges off the bench, and look at the guard shooting. The Bulls 14 for 20 overall.
How about this? Magic Johnson, 1 shot attempt during that first half.
Jordan and Paxson starting in the backcourt. Grant up front with Cartwright and Pippen. And Jordan drew the foul off the fake. Divac picks up his second.
And Michael Jordan making sure that they get to the free throw line a few more times this half. Starts out initially just by showing the ball, get him in the air, take the body contact.
Well, this a matchup of arguably the 2 greatest players in the game. To this point, it's been Michael Jordan's show. He now has 19. He's 3 out of 5 from the free throw line. During the regular season, the Lakers and the Bulls split the 2-game set, each team winning at home. Bulls beating the Lakers here in Chicago back in December, led by Jordan, who had 33. Pippen had a big game, a 13 for 17 for 28. Lakers won in L.A. in early February. Bulls go to the trap, and Divac's handling it. And he just does get it across the timeline.
That's the purpose in the extended defense. Put pressure on him, run that clock down. Don't give him a chance to get into the half-court sets.
Nice lead from Scott. And Perkins with 16 has brought the Lakers within 2.
One thing the Laker team has is such a great feel and understanding of the 24-second clock, eliminating the state of panic that sets in as it runs down.
A look-away pass handled by Grant, made the good catch, but under pressure not able to hit. Magic with the spin. The pass off the dribble of Divac. What a play. Magic Johnson with his 7th assist, setting up Vlade Divac, and he's tying the game at 55.
And he saw Michael Jordan sitting back there trying to anticipate which way he was going. He eye fake left, hits right.
Bill Cartwright providing a 2-point lead for Chicago. Cartwright has hit 3 of 6. He has 6 points. Los Angeles Lakers open the season under new coach Mike Dunleavy. Foul on Paxson. They lost 4 of their first 5 games, their worst start since 1978. But they turned it in November at one point, winning 8 in a row. They also had a 16-game win streak, which included a sweep of a 5-game road trip. And in the playoffs, Lakers sweeping Houston in 3, defeating Golden State 4 games to 1, and then they took Portland in 6.
Magic eyeing up the court, looks left, but sees Divac's right. Jordan starts to move over, anticipating the one to the left. Gets faked out by Magic.
Minute and a half gone by in the third. The game tied at 57. Michael Jordan and Vlade Divac leading the Lakers off the boards. Worthy did not have the post-up move. Notice Magic getting it right back to him. Shot clock at 5. Here's Worthy. Look out, Pippen went down.
Again, Bill Cartwright knocking somebody out of the picture.
Cartwright picked off Scott, who tried to recover. Cartwright. Here's Grant. Horace Grant with a second field goal, getting the good position to give the Bulls a 59-57 advantage. Divac's battling with Grant. Divac's foul hacked by Horace Grant. That's the first picked up by Grant.
Something that the Lakers may have to change as this series goes on. When Magic Johnson enters down low to any one of his post-up people, since Michael Jordan is guarding him, there's an awareness there by the post-up players for the Lakers that Jordan may come and either try for the steal or try and block it from behind their head. You may see Magic start to pass and cut through to get Jordan out of that area.
Vlade Divac, native of Yugoslavia. He played for the Yugoslavia national team. He will play for Yugoslavia in the 1992 Olympics. 10 points for Vlade. And the Lakers and Bulls tied at 59. Scott hand-checking Jordan. Found the open man. Here's Pippen. And Magic Johnson able to get to it.
Notice Magic check behind him right away. He knew Jordan was under the basket. Jordan loves to come and hang in on defensive rebounders for steals. Magic checked him out.
And Pippen able to pick that one off.
Steals by Chicago. 4th best in the league this year, producing easy scores.
Back come the Lakers. Perkins getting down, but lost it. Worthy recaptures and hits. The Lakers lead at 61-59. Pace slowing down here in the third. Here's Pippen. Perkins went down. He was shaken up. All right. Lakers have led by as many as 7. The Bulls' longest lead, a margin of 4. And of defense from this Chicago Stadium crowd. Risky pass tossed. Magic upset with himself and too much on it. Bulls in possession, trailing by 2. Divac stepping out. forced to use much of the shot clock here in the third. Pippen off another gorgeous pass. And they have the new 24. Bulls want to talk it over. Timeout taken. 6:54 remaining in the third. By golly, Jack making the trip from the West Coast. What an amazing likeness. 6:54 to go in the third. Lakers with a 2-point lead on the Bulls.
When you're a student of the game as well as a great player, you know your opponent's tendencies. Magic knows Michael likes to steal from behind, just kind of checks it out to make sure he clears the area.
Yes, Magic with the feeling that Michael was lurking. Bulls have hit only 2 of 10 from the field in this third quarter. They've missed their last 5 shot attempts. Scott doing a nice job on Jordan, cutting off the move to the left. Scottie Pippen off the recovery. He has 13, and the game is tied at 61. Lakers have attempted only 4 shots thus far in this third quarter, almost halfway through the quarter. They've hit 3 out of 4. And they continue to use most of the shot clock, slowing the tempo down. Clock at 1, and Magic is able to convert, and that is his first field goal of the afternoon.
He almost passed it off, looked up suddenly, saw 2, put it on the floor, and still got a shot off before the 24-second clock sounded.
Lakers 63, Bulls 61. Here's Jordan. Yes. Michael Jordan hits from downtown. He was picked up by James Worthy. 23 for Jordan. And the Bulls lead by 1. Perkins from deep. Here's Jordan. Saw the opening, but lost it. Magic for Worthy. Nice fake. And then he was stopped.
And credit transition defense.
And here's Jordan. Hugh Hollins and Hugh Evans checking each other on the call. And the foul has been called on Byron Scott.
Magic checking out the 24-second clock. Knows he's got to get his shot off and then buries it. A great ability to have the feel for when the clock has run all the way down, and you must get it up on the glass to give your team a chance to rebound if it shouldn't go in.
That was only the second field goal attempt by Magic Johnson, so he's 1 for 2 from the field and 6 out of 6 from the line. Jordan rejected by Divac emphatically. Here's Pippen. That's 2-point range. His outside shot has been off here today. Overall, Scottie Pippen 5 for 13 from the field. Byron Scott has not been getting his shots. Won't count. Foul before the shot attempt. It's called on Pippen. That is 3 charged to Scottie Pippen.
And again, the Bulls staying with the philosophy of get the basketball out of the point guard's hands. As soon as Magic brings it across, Horace Grant knows that his assignment defensively is not in a scoring position, runs over, traps the ball, gets Magic to give it up.
Cliff Levingston, who played 10 minutes and played well in the first half, has checked back in. Divac. Lonnie Divac on the follow. It's the Lakers 65 and the Bulls 64. Michael Jordan sitting down, replaced by Cliff Levingston. Paxson open. Yes. John Paxson has hit 3 out of 4. He'll get a lot of open shots because of the constant double teaming on either Jordan or Pippen. Bulls by 1. Worthy over Levingston. Levingston forced him a little bit more outside than he would have liked to go.
Pushed him outside, challenged the shot with an extended arm and hand.
Pippen won't count. He's called for traveling.
Livingston gets it back to the guy he knows can produce and score. As Pippen gets in traffic, he tries to change hands, and it looks pretty good, like he did get it off from here.
Called for the steps. Lakers get it back, and Paxson intercepts Johnson. Bulls lead by 1, and the tripping foul called on Magic. That is his second. Lakers and Bulls each have 3 team fouls. Phil Jackson now has a front court of Cartwright, Livingston, and Pippen. Timeout has been called with 3:25 remaining in the third quarter. Michael Jordan sitting it out right now with 3:25 remaining in the third quarter, and the Bulls up by 1, 66-65. For a report on Michael, let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, nothing bothering Michael. He's just a little bit tired. He's been working so hard on both ends of the court. He just took himself out to get a little breather, and he will be back. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, as you mentioned, it may be very taxing over the long haul for Michael Jordan at the defensive end of the court, going up against Magic Johnson.
And we'll watch as the game goes on. In the first half, Jordan got 12 field goal attempts up, went to the free throw line for 4 attempts. So far in the third quarter, 1 for 3 from the floor.
It is Chicago ball as we resume following the timeout. And Scottie Pippen now 5 for 14. Bulls maintain possession. Pippen guarded by Johnson. Cartwright feeling around for the defender Perkins.
And that time, Perkins really stretched out defensively, extended, made Cartwright fall away a little bit further and have to arc the ball that much higher. The result, terrible shot.
Cliff Livingston going up against Magic Johnson. Shot clock at 5. Perkins. He was forced into a very difficult shot.
Exactly the same at the other end. That time Perkins, because of the pressure, changed his shot.
Michael Jordan getting set to return. Livingston. That was the first shot attempt by Cliff Livingston. He is not on the floor for his jump shooting proficiency. We approach 2 minutes to go in the third, and Worthy able to drill it home. He has 18. The Lakers lead 67-66. Nice bounce back game for Worthy. Ailing in game 6 against Portland. Did not shoot well Thursday night. Scottie Pippen with 15 points. And the Bulls recapture the lead.
And with that little foot fake, Pippen froze Worthy, who still is not running the floor completely free with the bad ankle.
Magic backing Livingston. Pippen over to help, freeing up Worthy. Yes. Well, Pippen looked to help out on Magic Johnson, and the Lakers took advantage. They lead 69-68.
The thinking is almost the same for both guys, Pippen and Worthy. You wanted to shoot from the outside, but both of them are getting just a step beyond the free throw line. They'll nail those.
Here's Pippen. A minute 5 to go in the third quarter. Cartwright steps out on Worthy. Grant over. Divac played by Pippen on a switch. A good pass from Paxson. Grant has been off.
And Grant had Magic pinned on his back right under the front of the rim. Just couldn't convert.
Grant wanted a foul call. Here's Magic from downtown. Magic Johnson with a dramatic three-pointer to give the Lakers a 72-68 lead. And that leads to the timeout taken by the Bulls. So Magic Johnson with 2 field goals. He hits the 3. And earlier in this third quarter, he hit a shot with the 24-second clock running down.
And that shouldn't surprise you. In 14 playoff games, he had already taken 57 three-point attempts in the playoffs.
It'll be 29 and 9/10 seconds remaining in the third when play is resumed, and it will be Chicago ball. This is a Los Angeles Laker franchise that won 5 NBA titles in the 1980s. These are the new LA Lakers. Gone are a fellow by the name of Pat Riley, Kareem, Michael Cooper, Orlando Woolridge, all important pieces in previous championship runs. But it is a new cast of characters, and the front line has done the job right throughout the playoffs, and that has been the case here today. Worthy, Divac, and Perkins have severely outplayed the Chicago Bull front line, and this could be a major factor throughout the playoffs. They certainly have the size and the quickness up front. Here's Jordan with time running down in the third. Paxson. Magic on the rebound, and the foul is called. A holding foul. That's 3 on Jordan.
There's that same guy again, Michael Jordan, trying to come up from behind Magic to deflect the ball.
Final seconds of the quarter. Magic for 3, yes! Magic Johnson again from downtown, 0.6 of a second, and time has run out. So Magic Johnson supplying the firepower. Here in the third quarter, he's hit a couple of threes. Magic with 14 points in all, along with his 9 assists. Well, Michael Jordan won the early rounds, but you sense there is magic in the air here in Chicago. And we'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. We head to the fourth quarter in Chicago. The Lakers have opened up a 75-68 lead on the Bulls in game 1 of the best of 7. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, and Steve Jones. Let's go over to Steve.
All right, Marv, you may have noticed that James Worthy was hobbling a little bit more in that third quarter of play. 2 things happened. The ankle stiffened up on him. They taped it a little bit tighter, but he is fine. Those 20 points tell you that the Chicago Bulls don't know that he's hurt. Back to you.
All right, Steve. Worthy hanging in as we start the fourth quarter up front with Perkins and Divac, new backcourt. Magic Johnson will get a rest. Larry Drew and Terry Teagle have come on. The Bulls only 6 for 22 in the third quarter. 27% shooting, while the Lakers stepped it up, hitting on 9 of 16. B.J. Armstrong now matched with Larry Drew, played briefly in the first half. Perkins lost it to Pippen and then regained. Good recovery by Perkins, and then he was hit.
The Bulls trying to make some things happen with their aggressive defense. As Phil Jackson has told us so much of the time, we just can't sit back because they're bigger, a more physical team. We've got to make it happen by being aggressive. Hands, deflections, double teams, all trying to force turnovers.
The foul called on Pippen, so that is number 4 on Scottie Pippen. Perkins posting up on Pippen. Does not want to commit number 5. Went for the block, and he got it. McMadden indicating clean block. Armstrong wide open. Lakers have a 7-point lead. Through with a beautiful pass, and the foul on Pippen, and that is number 5 as Perkins hit the floor.
Larry Drew threading the needle, seeing his big guy working hard to get down the floor in transition, and then Perkins keeps his eye on it, finds the handle, and manages to get the shot up before he passes by the backboard. There's the opening. It's slight, but just on time before Jordan can get there for the steal.
Scottie Pippen with 5 personal fouls, and Sam Perkins to the free throw line. He is 2 for 2 from the line. Sam told us at the start of the season he was not comfortable with the Lakers and their system. Did not know the plays. Took a while, but now he is very comfortable. Pippen sitting down as Grant returns. Grant up front with Livingston and Perdue. Armstrong and Jordan in the backcourt.
And you knew it was going to be an adjustment period because not only did they add Perkins, but bringing Teagle in, another guy they wanted to go to down low. Everyone needed to understand how they were going to get him the ball, where were they going to get him the ball, and then what do the rest of us do when they have the ball.
Rare misses for the Lakers from the foul line. And Drew called for the foul. 1 minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Game 2 will take place here in Chicago Wednesday night. We'll be on hand starting 9 o'clock Eastern time. Game 3 of the Forum in Los Angeles next Friday. Game 4 in LA next Sunday night. Michael Jordan has 25. Lakers lead at 75-70. Mike Dunleavy looking to buy some time, providing a rest period for Magic Johnson. Here is Teagle on a quick release. Grant off the rebound. Jordan working against both Teagle and Drew. Livingston. Lakers now lead by 3.
The Lakers do an excellent job of collapsing in the lane and taking away Jordan's initial move. Then it's covering the other people that will become the biggest problem.
Worthy backing Livingston. Here's Divac. Lost it. He thought he was fouled. Armstrong. Chicago within 1. And the Lakers call for a timeout. A 20-second timeout taken by Mike Dunleavy, with Chicago reeling off 6 unanswered points. Now they've changed it to a full timeout. We'll be back in a moment. By 1 over the Bulls, 9:47 to go in this fourth quarter. It's been a superb rookie season for head coach Mike Dunleavy, although the Lakers did get off to a slow start. We talked about that with Magic Johnson. Asked, was there any point where you questioned Dunleavy's system would work?
Well, I thought it would work. It's just I knew it was going to take a while. As a matter of fact, I tell you who really helped me was Coach Fratello. Pulled me aside one day. And really, in all seriousness, he pulled me aside. I think we were like 2-5 or 1-4 at that particular time. And he said it's going to be all right, because I had my doubts, yeah. And I think the guys did too.
In effect, Magic Johnson says that you turned the Lakers season around. Wait a moment. What did you tell Magic?
I'm not allowed to tell you. It's a secret.
And Michael Jordan has given the Bulls a 76-75 lead. You're not allowed to tell us. You're getting paid big dollars for talking on television. Here's Perkins off the head fake. And back come the Bulls. Jordan with the pull-up. Yes! The Chicago Bulls with a 78-75 lead. They've reeled off 10 unanswered. Magic with the hook. And he will go to the foul line.
Jordan, once he gets the basketball, has a full head of steam, but then gains control of the dribble, pulls up, so he gets the good look at the basket, the good position, and then he is ready to open this thing up and wants to get everybody else involved.
However, he just committed his 4th foul, putting Magic Johnson on the foul line.
Mark, there are some things that must remain in confidence between two people. You just can't expect me to tell everyone who's watching and listening what went on between Magic and I.
So the Bulls lead by 2. Now this was what, early in the season you had a little chat with Magic?
The biggest thing that I mentioned was just that Magic showed in his eyes and in his facial expressions his concern at the time. He's their leader. They all watch him. I just said, hang in there. Don't let your face show.
This was during the 1-4, 2-5 start. Magic was sulking. He was unhappy about the system. Things were not working at the time for the Lakers.
Magic just wanted to win. That's all.
Divac. So Vlade Divac, who has had another solid performance, has tied it at 78. Divac with 14 points, just under 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Divac jumping out on Jordan. And the foul. It is a block charge to Worthy. Worthy trying to help out. Michael Jordan is playing with 4 fouls. Scottie Pippen picked up his 5th. He is sitting down. Lakers in good shape in terms of fouls. No one has as many as 3. Here's Byron Scott returning. Phil Jackson has Grant with Purdue and Livingston up front. Jordan and now Hodges at the guards. Here's Jordan, tough angle shot. And the Bulls get the new 24.
Chicago hanging around those offensive boards, getting themselves extra shot opportunities.
And the reach-in foul called.
Los Angeles, personal foul 4 by
Jordan backing Scott down, makes the move, and on the attempted swipe, there's the foul by Scott.
And it is ruled a non-shooting affair. Livingston will throw in. Chicago's tempo has changed here in the second half. But they are in the midst of a burst. And Jordan rejected. AC Green back on the floor for the Lakers. Magic Johnson, after the slow start, has come on strong. He now has 17 points and 10 assists. Timeout taken by the Bulls. 6:53 to go in the fourth. It's the Lakers 80 and the Bulls 78 as you watch Magic hitting off glass.
The great thing about Divac is the interaction between the other team members and Vlade. He's ready to receive and accept whatever they tell him. Let's go over to him out on the sidelines.
Mike, during that last timeout, Coach Phil Jackson said he didn't want the game to swing away from him, so they're bringing in an offensive player. Scottie Pippen will now enter the game. He's also concerned about that congestion underneath the board. He wants better spacing by his big people. Mark?
All right, Ahmad. And this capacity crowd reacting as the Chicago Bulls broke the huddle, step back on. Scottie Pippen has checked back in, playing with the 5 fouls. Bill Cartwright has returned. Here's Jordan. Yes. The game is tied at 80 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the fourth.
In these last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, we'll try and keep an eye on how many times Michael Jordan is involved with the basketball and making the final decision with it, whether to shoot or pass off in the end.
Oh, nice move by Worthy. Came up hobbling after hitting on the baseline drive. 22 points for Worthy. Looking a bit on the Gimpy side. Lakers lead at 82-80. Michael Jordan now has 31 points and 11 assists. Good play by Worthy to break up the pass. Magic Johnson already has hit triple-double figures. 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. AC Green was wide open.
And perhaps a little sign right here. Michael Jordan has been taken off of Magic. He's overplaying Byron Scott. They have Hodges playing Magic. Fatigue perhaps setting in.
Well, we saw Michael ask for the early rest in the third quarter.
Oh, but they're right back again. Jordan on Magic.
Magic directing traffic, moving Green down low. And the foul is called. Jack Madden with the indication. It is on Jordan. That is number 5.
As Worthy finishes, he still has a real bad problem with that ankle as he goes back down the floor. Then he turns right around and comes from behind on Pippen to force the turnover.
Now here is the risk factor in matching Michael Jordan against Magic Johnson, but he is the Bulls' best defender. And we'll have to see as this series develops if Phil Jackson changes up on that matchup.
Michael Jordan, a member of the all-defensive team 4 years, voted the best defensive player 1 year. Got to put somebody good on Magic to stop him.
However, he is now facing 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter with 5 fouls, as is Scottie Pippen. Lakers with a 4-point lead. Jordan changed his mind and found Grant. He was able to hang and extend in midair, giving himself enough time to deliver the ball to Horace Grant. Lakers with a 2-point lead. Just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It is game 1 of the best of 7 NBA championship series. Shot clock to 3. And Grant able to come away with it. Jordan, yes, and it counts.
Jordan has the great ability, once he gets in the air, to understand and know where his teammates are and then make that split decision at the end, leading to score. Scott, rather than trying to extend and block it, tries to get Jordan on the way up. Basket's good, and a chance for the 3-point play.
So Byron Scott collects his 4th foul. Timeout taken. The game tied at 84.
Guarding Jordan may have had its effects on Byron Scott. He's only 1 for 4 in this game so far. He tries to swipe it before Jordan can get the ball up over his head, knowing that Michael's a little too big and elevates too well. Michael certainly loves it.
Well, Magic Johnson started in low-key fashion in the first half and has come on big in the second for a triple-double. It's been a very consistent, solid game for Michael Jordan. 33 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. Bulls and Lakers tied at 84, and Jordan to the line looking to complete the 3-point play. Lakers and Bulls each with 3 timeouts remaining. Let's go over to Steve Jones.
All right, Mark, the strategy for the Los Angeles Lakers will be to try to foul out Michael Jordan. They'll try to do it by posting up Magic Johnson. Pippen's also got 5 fouls as well.
All right, Steve. Lakers with the ball, trailing by 1. Grant poking it away, and last touched by Worthy, who is very upset.
James Worthy felt it was deflected by Grant. He never touched it again. Jack Madden said, nah, you got it right at the last second.
Bulls by 1 with just under 4 minutes to go. In the fourth, Paxson for 3. And Divac with his 13th rebound.
And an excellent job of boxing out that time by the Lakers. They each had their man sealed off, formed that rebounding triangle.
Keep in mind, the LA Lakers stole game number 1 in the series against Portland and went on to win in 6. 3-point attempt by Worthy. Divac hit the deck. Loose ball foul has been called. It's on Cartwright on the push-out. That is his 3rd personal.
Talking about stealing games in the playoffs thus far, 28 games. Game 1 has been stolen 5 times by the visitors. Game 2, 4 times. Divac had slipped inside that time, got the inside position. Cartwright knew it, committed the foul.
Bulls going over the limit with that foul. Lakers with 4 team fouls. Divac 5 for 5 from the line. He is a 70% free throw shooter. What is so impressive about Vlade Divac, particularly with a guy like Magic Johnson firing those pass is right on target is that he catches the ball so well.
You associate the skill players with the point guard, two guard, small forward position. Guys who can dribble, pass, have the great hands. Not the case with Divac, a center who can do all those things.
Lakers by 1. Jordan stopped on the reverse, and he'll go back to the foul line. Divac picking up his third.
If you're going to let Jordan go to the baseline, you must seal it off. Try to keep him behind the backboard. He loves coming up and under on the other side to try and finish the play off.
Lakers now over the foul limit. Jordan 5 for 7 from the line. Lakers to the line 30 times. The Bulls taking only their 15th free throw. Bulls and Lakers tied at 86 with 3:14 left in the fourth.
You keep an eye on the outside. The Lakers match up with Chicago's people because the Bulls run a little free throw play where they try to get the ball back on missed free throws. See Worthy face guarding Grant outside. That's so he doesn't slip in case there's a miss.
Chicago has taken a 1-point lead. Jordan and Pippen with 5 fouls apiece. Scott has 4. He's the only Laker in difficulty. We're down to 3 minutes to go in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Here's Worthy. That's a 2-point attempt. And it will be Chicago possession.
What the Bulls have done so effectively with their 2 key guys having 5 personal fouls is get the ball out of Magic's hands, getting it over into another player who has to then make a decision or get him into the half-court offense. They've got to get a better attack position for the Lakers.
Pippen off the dribble. Yes. The jump shot has not been falling for Scottie Pippen, but it did at an opportune time right there. And he's given the Bulls an 89-86 lead as the Lakers have called for time. 2:33 to go in the fourth. Here in Chicago, as always, the decibel level shatters the meter. And they have enjoyed what they've seen here thus far this afternoon. A timeout rundown. Bulls 3 left, Lakers 2. Both clubs over the foul limit. 2:34 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Chicago Bulls lead the Los Angeles Lakers 89-86 in game 1 of the best of 7 NBA final. Magic Johnson moving against Michael Jordan. Grant comes over. Perkins and Grant battling for position. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Perkins. Yes. And the Chicago lead is 1.
And in the last 4 possessions, that's the first decent shot that the Lakers have gotten off. Even that one was a difficult one, but he got a clean look at the end.
Just under 2 minutes left in the fourth. Now Scott trying to hand check Jordan. Here is Paxson. And Divac's able to get to it.
And that's where the other players on the Bulls must answer the challenge. If they're going to take Michael out of it by double teaming, you've got to knock out the open shots.
Magic Johnson trapped, called for the timeout. A minute and 37 remaining in the fourth. The Lakers are down to 1 timeout left. Welcome back to the Windy City. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones. Minute 37 left in the fourth. It will be Laker ball as we resume. The Bulls by 1. Lakers down to 1 timeout left. Good timeout, bad timeout for Mike Dunleavy.
A must timeout. When Magic came over the half-court line, he was trapped. The remaining players on the Lakers were not in a good receiving position. Magic basically said, I'd rather have the timeout used up and get a good shot at this thing than give up the ball in a turnover.
So the Lakers down to 1 timeout left. Chicago with 3. Shot clock at 5. Shot clock at 3. Here's Perkins getting inside, and he was fouled. Cartwright went for the fake, and Perkins will go to the line.
James Worthy must be in a position to receive the ball and shoot. That's what's happening with the clock at 4 or 5 seconds. Most times Magic's dumping off to him. They save it right here at the end by finding Perkins underneath. Magic basically knows they lucked out and got that one off just before the 24-second violation.
Sam Perkins only 2 out of 4 from the line today, 82% on the season. And he has tied the game at 89. 19 for Perkins, who has come up strong once again. Had a big one against Portland Thursday. Game 6 with the Lakers wrapping it. He hit 10 of 14, 26 points. 1:22 left in the fourth. Too strong. Rebounded by Pippen. The Bulls and the Lakers tied at 89. Pippen played by Perkins. Changed his mind. Shot clock at 6. Here's Pippen. And the foul called on the Lakers. It's Divac picking up his 4th. Both clubs are over the limit. So with 1:02 remaining in this fourth quarter, it will be Scottie Pippen to the free throw line.
Chicago has 9 more field goals made than the Lakers do. But the Lakers up to this point have taken 32 free throw attempts to only 16 for Chicago. The difference at the line right now, keeping the Lakers right in the game with Chicago.
Pippen is 4 for 6 from the line. He has not been a consistent free throw shooter, although he has improved in recent years, up to 71% for the season. Clutch foul shooting by Scottie Pippen, and it's the Bulls 91, the Lakers 89, just under 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Again, they double up. Cartwright jumping out to help on Johnson. Divac rebounded by Grant. Chicago ball with 40 seconds to go in the fourth.
You say, hey, the Lakers got a good look at the basket and a good shot, but it's maybe not what they wanted to go to. It's what they had to wind up taking.
5 on the 24. Jordan. And Perkins rebounds. Lakers spending their final timeout. 23 and 10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Bulls lead the Lakers 91-89, and it will be Los Angeles ball following this timeout. Well, game 2 of this best of 7 back here at Chicago Stadium on Wednesday night, and we'll be on hand starting 9 o'clock Eastern time on NBC. Michael and Magic continuing on. Michael Jordan, the high man, with 36 points, along with 12 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 steals. Magic Johnson, after the slow start, not looking for shots in the first half, and Michael Jordan's defensive work certainly had something to do with that, but Magic came on, in particular in the third quarter, hit 2 from downtown, hit a wild shot as the 24-second buzzer went off, and Magic has come up with a triple-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists.
If you're in the Laker huddle right now, there's a number of things that could be going on. You're saying that your main go-to guys are Magic and Worthy. Some problems there. Magic gets double-teamed right away by Chicago. Worthy, lacking that mobility with the bad ankle, has been forced to settling for perimeter jump shots, not making them recently. As a result, you may wind up with either Perkins or a Byron Scott spotting up as the key guy down the stretch. The other thing is, since you are such an outstanding three-point shooting team, a number of guys who can step out there, do you go for the tie or do you try to win it on the road with a three-pointer at the end?
We were discussing Byron Scott earlier and the fact that he would be occupied and could be affected by going up against Michael Jordan. And Byron Scott, who has had a good playoff and has bounced back from a couple of injury-plagued seasons, only 1 for 4 from the floor this afternoon. So he has had his hands full going up against Jordan.
1 for 4, only 8 points coming into this game. Almost 16 points in the playoffs, shooting 54%.
Let's go over to Steve Jones.
All right, Barb, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to go with Worthy and Magic Johnson down on the box. They're going to try to go through Sam Perkins. We'll see if they can execute the play.
All right, Steve, reporting from just outside that Laker huddle. Bulls by 2, 23, 5-10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. The Bulls wanted to take a look at what the Lakers were setting up, and they, after checking it out, have called for a timeout. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
And I think what we're talking about here is when we say they wanted to go through Perkins to post up either Magic or Worthy, they're talking about making Perkins the feeder, the guy on the outside that's going to throw the pass down into the hole. If you back off him, he's a good perimeter shooter, a guy who can knock out a three-point shot. He must make a good decision and a good pass into either guy on the low block. Magic checking out with the referee, Hugh Evans. Which side of the floor do we have to take the basketball on, or can we switch it over to the other side if we so desire?
The Chicago Bulls talking it over defensively. Statistically, they are the top defensive team in the playoffs over the last 10 years. They have held opponents to 92 points per game.
And what Magic just wanted to clear up there is, okay, we got the ball on that side of the floor, but let's everybody agree on this. We must pass the ball into the front court, not the back court. Since we have it up here now after advancing it. Let's just clear that up, everybody.
The Lakers do not have any timeouts remaining. The Bulls with 2 left. The Lakers seeking to steal a game here in Chicago. Games 1 and 2 at Chicago Stadium. And then back to Los Angeles. The scene will shift to LA for game 3 next Friday night.
Kind of interesting. What the Lakers were trying to do is they wanted to take the ball back down on the baseline so that Magic could bring it up off the dribble and get into the play. Once you've advanced it, you may not put it back on the baseline again. So that's what they were trying to clear up as well.
Terry Teagle has been inserted, and he will throw it in. Mike Dunleavy going with the shooters. Teagle, Scott, Perkins, Worthy, and Johnson. Bulls by 2. You see the clock running down. And Perkins goes for 3. He's got it. He went for the shot from downtown to take the lead. The Lakers with a 92-91 lead with 14 seconds remaining in the fourth, and the Bulls call for time.
Knowing that they weren't going to be able to get it to Magic directly, they inbounded to Scott, let Magic come behind and take the handoff. As soon as he makes his move to back Jordan down, he fires it across the floor to Perkins, who spotted up for the 3. He knocked one out early in the game, but none bigger than that one. Taking a look from the other side now, Magic looking across the floor. He sees the rotation taking place by Cartwright, catches the Bulls in the middle of their rotation and fires it to the open man. A good extension by Grant trying to challenge it, but that thing just gets over the top, knocks it down, and Perkins thanks his teammate. He loves it.
Sam Perkins has hit 3 out of 4 from downtown. During the course of the season, Sam 18 for 64, 28% from three-point land. And the Lakers now lead it by the score of 92-91 with 14 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. Well, today's Miller Genuine Draft Player of the Game, Michael Jordan. And on behalf of Michael, NBC, and Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. A terrific all-around performance by Jordan, who got to it early. 15 points in the first quarter, 13 in the fourth. He's come on late for 36, along with 12 assists, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals.
That third quarter seemed to be the period where Jordan asked to be taken out, needed that second wind. He worked so hard in the first half at both ends of the floor, caught up to him a little bit there in the third quarter, but he finishes strong once he regroups.
And the Lakers with a very strong effort here in game 1. Perkins connecting on the 3-point field goal to give the Lakers a 1-point lead. Sam Perkins now has 22 points. Scottie Pippen will throw it in. Jack Madden making certain that Pippen is given the room. Bulls have 1 timeout left.
And LA takes a delay of game right there. What they tried to do is, since they had one to use up, Worthy ran right up to the basketball close, forced it so his teammates could get a look at the play and see what they were trying to run.
This has become a very popular tactic this season. Here's Jordan. And let's see what the call is. The officials checking it over. And the outside referee, Hugh Hollins, had the better look. He says last touch by the Lakers. It will be Chicago ball. And the Bulls take their final timeout.
You're talking about 4 of the Laker teammates running towards Jordan as he tries to make his move baseline, not giving him a clear look at the basket.
5 seconds going by. The Bulls down to 9 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Well, tonight, don't miss the heartwarming family special, Our Shining Moment, starring Don Amici. And then Who Wants to Buy Pebble Beach and Why? Expose uncovers the mystery of the $1 billion deal. And then On Real Life with Jane Pauley, followed by an NBC world premiere movie, Murder in High Places. That's tonight right here on NBC. Well, both the Lakers and the Bulls do not have any timeouts remaining. The Lakers, by virtue of a 3-point shot by Sam Perkins, leading the Bulls 92-91.
With under 5 seconds, 4 seconds remaining in this situation, you can talk about a lot of switching defensively. With 9 seconds to go, it gives Jordan, if he gets the ball in his hands, plenty of opportunity to take advantage of the switch and then beat the wrong person off the dribble.
High-point man of the game, Jordan, 36. Pippen with 19. Both have been in foul trouble. They both have 5. They are the only Bulls in double figures. The Lakers, led by Worthy with 22. Perkins also has 22. Magic 19, Divac 16. It has been close right throughout. Lakers at one stretch led by 7, Bulls by 4. You see the 26 changes of the lead, and this a game that was tied on 14 occasions.
Well, the tempo and the style of play by both teams, good aggressive defensive team, good half-court execution, keeps both teams close.
All right, let's see what's going on at the Bulls bench. Let's go over to Ahmad.
As you would expect, they're going to set up their 3 shooters in Paxson, Jordan, and Pippen. Paxson could either be the shooter or the decoy. Jordan coming from the bottom of the court. Back to you.
All right, Ahmad, Paxson is lined up out deep, straight away, top of the circle. Scott checking him out. 9 seconds remaining. Pippen will throw it in. Jordan is down in the paint, being guarded by Worthy. Pippen must get it in. He does. And here is Jordan. 3 seconds remaining, and let's see what the call is. Jordan rimming the basket. The foul against Chicago. It's on Paxson. Now they have changed the clock. 2 7/10 seconds left. Byron Scott took a shot in the cheek, and the Lakers will go to the line.
Jordan got a real good look. That ball is halfway in and back out, and you could see the disappointment in Jordan's face after the ball was rebounded by the Lakers. He knows that he had it right there. He got as good a look as you're going to get in the ending of a game. The thing was in and back out again.
2 7/10 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Byron Scott to the line. He's 6 for 6 this afternoon. Just under 80% for the season. You saw 83 during the playoffs. 1 point, Laker lead.
Right after this shot attempt, Jordan knows that he had it. He's not going to get much better chance. Disappointed in the fact that it rolled out. Right now, after this free throw attempt, no timeouts left. The Lakers need to jam the guy who takes it out so he doesn't get a chance to see on the long pass.
2-point Laker lead. Cartwright will toss it in. Here's Pippen from center court. He fires it, and he hit the back of the rim. And that is it. The Los Angeles Lakers steal game 1 from the Chicago Bulls. They have defeated the Bulls 93-91 despite the exploits of Michael Jordan. The Lakers do it off the three-pointer by Sam Perkins. That's the game winner. Then Byron Scott hit 1 of 2 from the free throw line for the final point. Here's Pippen. He got off a shot that was right on target, that went strong off the back of the rim, and that is how it concludes. The Los Angeles Lakers 93 and the Chicago Bulls 91. So the Bulls, who had won 15 straight home playoff games, see that streak conclude, and they're looking now to get back into the series with a victory Wednesday night. We'll be on the air starting at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones saying so long from Chicago. This is the NBA on NBC.